was earlier this week about the fact that, and again we bring up the word adversity, and we hate to overuse that, but all the controversy that Carter has had to go through over the last 4 or 5 weeks, and he says he thinks it really has brought the team closer together. It's helped them. They've had so many obstacles to go over each and every week. They never knew from day to day what was going to be happening, what was going to be thrown against them, and now suddenly playing in a state championship game is almost secondary to all that they've had to deal with.
Yeah, these kids are amazing. You know, they've been in courts, they've been in hearings and everything else, but when it comes down to playing football, they know how to concentrate on that, and that's a tribute to Coach Freddie James, because he's done a great job in keeping the perspective for this football team. And they're going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Judson to come back on the Cowboys in the second half, but you cannot count out this Judson football team, even though the score is 24-0.
24-0 indeed is how we stand. Carter now leading Judson. This is the 5A championship game here at Texas Stadium. Let's go down to the sidelines now, where Chris Fowler is standing by.
Okay, fellas, you do have to be a little bit discouraged if you're a Judson fan. Coach Rutledge saying we're going to stay with what we do best, and that, of course, is the running game. But trying to make up 24 points in the second half on the ground is going to be tough. We've seen that Carter has been able to shut down the run. They have such great athletes on defense, especially Jesse Armstead, the middle linebacker, going from side to side, and Judson just hasn't been able to run the ball. They're worried about Carter's speed, and that has been a key factor. They just haven't been able to cover the Carter receivers. They like to play that man-to-man defense, and that just really hasn't worked. We'll have to see if they can turn it around, but those guys have to be a little bit emotionally shell-shocked at this point. They haven't been 24 points down in a long time, guys.
All right, Chris, thank you much. 24-0 is how we stand here at halftime. Carter leading Converse Judson. We'll be back with more right after this brief timeout.
Presenting the Starlight Drill.
That E.T. has come home on video cassette. For the holidays, Pepsi is offering a special $5 rebate with the purchase of an E.T. video and Pepsi.
Don't let high airfares push you out of the vacation picture. Buy our new one-way fun fares.
Well, you've waited so long for a fare to get so nice and low. You really should buy now, you really should buy.
Southwest Airlines fun fares are so low.
How low are they?
Now you can fly just for the fun of it.
Why don't you come along with us, cause we got a lot of things to do now. You really should fly. Have fun, 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 flying Southwest on a fun fair today. Fun, fun, flying on a fun fair today.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. We're at halftime. Carter leading Judson by a score of 24-0. As you look on at the Judson halftime show, they'll split it up with the Carter Marching Band. This is the Judson High School Marching Band. Of more than the 300 Judson band members, 190 are represented in the Rocket Marching Band here at Texas Stadium this afternoon. Is one of the largest band programs in all of South Texas. They utilize 2 band halls and 3 full-time band directors. The band directors of the Rocket Band are Bill Haar and Robert Whipke, along with Tom Kinsey, who also helps out, and each of them bring a specialty to the program. Conservatory teacher, college marching instructor, and a professional sports entertainment director. The combined teaching experience of the 3 people over 65 years. The band is led in the field by drum majors Jenny Dubs and Ann Say. Majorette Rhonda Shield, and the color guard officials are Kara Whipke, Stephen Quinney, Sandy Connors, and Jody Potter. Now let's go out to the field and check in on the Judson halftime show and the Judson High School Marching Band.
Now presenting John
special routine to Sleigh Ride.
This telecast is being presented by the University Interscholastic League, and the UIL represents many extracurricular activities that contribute to the growth and development of high school students throughout the state of Texas. Exactly what the UIL does and their impact on those students is explained by Dr. Bailey Marshall, Executive Director of the UIL.
Many of our states have only athletic activities. In Texas, we have competition in 20 different academic activities that culminate in the state championship for all of our 5 conferences. We also have about 10 music activities that culminate in state championships for our music students in the state, along with some 17 or 18, well, it was actually 18 different athletic activities. So we have a broader base of activities and competitions for our students in the state of Texas. I was at the University of Texas back in 1910 at the request of school people, organized a forensic league. It really started as a debating league, and then the next year they asked them to take over track and field and to have a state championship. So it evolved from that. The university did it as a service to the public schools and the students of the state of Texas, and they continue to serve in this role. They do not participate in any way in the formulation of the rules and regulations, but they provide a house or home here for the University Interscholastic League and a lot of services that would be quite costly to the public schools. And so it's been a great service. The public school people are very appreciative, and we think it's a good relationship. We have approximately 1 million people who attend high school football games per week during the 10-week season of football. We've run some statistics on this, and it's about, our average is about 1 million per week. Of course, when we get in the playoffs, we have some real large crowds. Our largest crowd was 49,000, I believe it's 49,450 between Port Neches and I think Plano, I believe it was, a number of years ago. So it's, you know, people in Texas love their football, and they really come out for it and support these fine young men in their high schools. I would like to see continued growth, especially in our academic competition. I think this is the thing as far as education is concerned in the future. I think that you'll see our programs utilized in the within the schools themselves for not just the top ones, but the students who are in the mid-range area as far as the academic knowledge and all is concerned. And so I think this is the area that I see growth and interest toward growing.
It's halftime at Texas Stadium, the 5A championship final. Carter leading Judson 24-0. We'll be back with more right after this.
Hunters, scope in on quality and selection at McBride's Guns. Your hunt begins at McBride's for the finest selection of quality firearms in Texas and the largest selection of hunting clothes and accessories. McBride's also has the finest selection of hunting boots, knives, scopes, and ammo for whatever you're tracking. And don't forget McBride's full line of archery and fishing gear at Austin's best prices. Layaway and revolving charge terms are available at McBride's Guns, 30th and North Lamar. McBride's, where the hunt begins.
At Jim Hoffpowers in Lampasas, the savings are so great, even St. Nick shops here. So if you want great savings before Santa gets them all, come on in and save. Like 1988 Regals, 1988 Cutlass, as much as $1,500 rebate, as low as 3.9% interest. Come in and save, or give us a call, 512-556-6285, and let's make a deal. So come to Jim Hoffpowers on Highway 183 North in Lampasas, open Monday through Saturday, 8 to 7.
It was over 40 years ago that Dallas Cowboys head football coach Tom Landry was the outstanding high school football player in Mission, Texas. Earlier this week, I spoke with Coach Landry about his early years in football and the role it has played in his life.
Well, I think, you know, the excitement, when you think about it, is still there. I think that might be one of the most exciting times for any, you know, athlete is in high school, because, you know, you're just growing up and you're just getting into the thing. And I remember, you know, we had some great teams down there, and we had a very small school, and but the enthusiasm was always there. I think there's something unique about high school. You know, everybody comes out. You know, everybody's there, and it's kind of a weekend social gathering for, and especially in a small town. And that's the thing I remember the most, is support of the people and just being a part of the scene.
I'm sure you can recall many, many plays that the Cowboys have been involved in since 1960. Can you think back to specific plays or specific games or specific times in your high school career that still stand out?
Oh, I can remember some of the things that really happened. I remember my senior year when we were undefeated and we were unscored on except one time, and I interfered in the end zone with a pass, and they gave them a touchdown. That's the only touchdown that was given up my senior year. And of course, we only go to a regional championship, and we played Honda. They were way up north towards San Antonio, and we beat them 33-0, I believe the score was at that time, and that was pretty exciting for a small high school team.
How did playing high school football prepare you for all that you have done later in life?
I think the most important thing, Scott, is to have a coach who understands character, understands building character, understanding how to handle young kids. And I remember my coach, he came out of San Marcos. When I first year I played football, I was in junior high school, and he came out of San Marcos, was my junior high coach. And he took me all the way through my 4 years of high school football. He coached me 2 years in junior high, and he coached me 2 years in senior high. And he taught me a great deal, you know, about competing, about doing the things that are right in there. And I think the high school coach and the junior high coach probably has more impact upon athletes than probably any place else in their whole career. And that's the thing I remember most about my high school coach, was that he was a dedicated guy. He taught us right from wrong and taught us how to compete, how to win, how to lose. And I think those are the things I remember so much about him.
It's so frustrating to many people that played many years ago as you have, to see all that has transpired with the UIL and what have you this year. That's unfortunate, is it not?
Well, it really is. I think what has taken place is we put too much emphasis on athletics, too much winning, and that's wrong, you know, because I believe a youngster growing up needs football. I think football is really the greatest sport of all for young people, because it teaches them how to compete. It builds character in them, and no other sport builds it like that. Football is a tough game. You get your nose bloodied, you get all these things, you have to come off of the feet. And to me, that's what's important. And what we've done today, and not only there, but in college too. And we made it everything. And that's wrong. It's still a game. It's still a sport. It should be enjoyed. But then you can't ever forget what's most important, and that's your education, preparing yourself for the life you're going to spend after you've spent 3 or 4 years in high school playing football, or maybe 8 years when you finish college, and the rest of your life is dependent on what you learned. And so I think that's what's so important today about the no pass type of rule, because we got to some way put it back into focus again.
It's halftime, the 5A championship for 1988 in the state of Texas. Carter leading Judson 24-0. We'll be back with more right after this.
The unmistakable beauty of custom jewelry, a distinctive piece done especially for you at the Jewel Box.
Hi, I'm Mike Schaefer. I'd like to make your Christmas very special this year. Imagine giving a gift so unique, personal, and unforgettable as custom jewelry.
The Jewel Box crafts your jewelry right here in Austin, so it costs less, and it'll be ready for a Christmas morning you'll never forget. 2 locations, south in Brody Oaks and north in West Anderson Plaza on Anderson Lane at Burnett Road. The Jewel Box wants to be your jeweler.
Hi, I'm Santa Claus at High Power Schrader and Burnett, and we're having a gigantic Christmas sale. For example, a Christmas special on a 78 Monte Carlo, $1,955, a 1978 Buick Regal, $2,155. Pick up the phone, call us, 512-756-2777, High Power Schrader across from the airport in Burnett. What a place! Come on down to High Power Schrader in Burnett, open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 7.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. It is Carter's turn to perform at halftime here as the 5A state championship continues. Carter Cowboy Marching Band, known as the Marching Machine, is under the direction of Mr. Douglas Baskin. He is a graduate of Bishop College and the University of North Texas. And how about that? The assistant director of Mr. Earl Sims, a graduate of Southern University. The drum majors, Clarence Mays and Melanie Lester, both seniors. And the Marching Machine participates at football games, community parades, UIL marching contests, among other events in the Metroplex. Today's halftime performance is to the tune Jam Tonight. The flag sponsor, by the way, is Mrs. Rhonda Smith. Let's give a listen right now to the Carter Cowboy Marching Machine. Second half upcoming. We'll be back with more as Carter leads Judson 24-0. The Texas 5A championship. We'll be right back.
That's it.
It's over. We have nothing in common.
We never agreed on one thing. Ever.
Great. I need to find someone
more like me.
When you find something you have so much in common with, something so exciting, so refreshing.
Hi.
You just can't stop yourself from grabbing it and holding on to it forever. For the great taste of Pepsi without caffeine, try caffeine-free Pepsi.
The memorable action of the 5A championship game can be yours forever. Order your VHS video copy of the 1988 Texas 5A championship game as the Dallas Carter Cowboys battled the Converse Judson Rockets. Only $14.95 plus $3 shipping and handling, Visa and MasterCard accepted. Call 512-476-1054 or mail your check or money order to TBG Sports, 1717 West 6th Street, Suite 260, Austin, Texas, 78703. Allow 4 to 5 weeks delivery. It's the best in Texas high school football.
Somebody give us something.
Welcome back to Texas Stadium. Scott Murray along with Drew Pearson, and 24-0 is how we stand right now. Carter with a commanding lead over Judson, and a bit of a surprise, I think, because here's a team that has not been scored upon 9 times during the course of the year, and then they come in and have 24 points scored against them.
Well, their teams were pretty even defensively going in. The strength of each team was their defense, and the big difference for Carter has been their versatility on offense. And the highlights in the first half will show that everybody's getting to touch the ball. Everybody's having a good time. You see the first touchdown here. Harvey Harper goes over the top, and that gave Carter the 7-0 lead in this football game. And then there's Robert Hall getting the time to throw the football. He hits Brian Mitchell. Mitchell makes a nice catch. He dives in the end zone, and that made the score 14-0 Carter. And then we have the third touch in the first half. And again, it's Harvey Harper. Nice blocking up front by the Carter offensive line. And Harper breaks a couple tackles, and that gives the score, makes the score 21-0 Carter. And then just before half, we had a long field goal by Stevens, a 45-yarder, and that gives us our score at 24-0 at halftime, Scott.
Well, let's take a look at the stats right now. Of course, one of the keys in the ballgame thus far has been turnovers. Each team responsible for 2, but I think the key is the fact that Carter has been able to capitalize on those, and Judson was not.
Yeah, Judson did make some big plays in his first half, but that seemed to fire up the Carter offense. And 188 total yards, including 154 yards passing. Hall is 9 for 14 throwing the ball for that 154 yards. Jones is the leading receiver with 5 receptions for 115 yards. I'm surprised that the total possession is pretty much even in this ball game, Scott, but of course the dominance by Carter and showing better execution with their offense.
You know, during the course of the first half, right at the end of the half, I was surprised to hear that, you know, that Judson is not going to come out and do something else in the second half. You know, coach says that, hey, we're going to have to stick with our game plan. We came here, we know how to win. You don't win by running the ball, and they've run the ball about 90 to 95% of the course of the year.
Yeah, it's just hard to run the ball against the Carter defense. And when you're down 24-0, running the ball is not going to get you all the way back. It'll help you get back, but then it won't get you all the way back. They're going to have to make some adjustments.
Judson Rockets, interception, 7 points, fumble, 3 points. I mean, that's unbelievable. It kills you. Let's talk about the situation that evolves in the second half.
Well, again, there's the Carter miscues leading to no points. They had 1 fumble, 1 interception, but again, Judson was not able to capitalize on that. In the second half, what Judson's going to have to do, they're going to have to come out and try to establish the running game, and hopefully that will open up something in the passing area, because they are a run team first, and they have to get that going first. Hey, you say Carter scored 24 points in the first half. Why can't Judson come back in the second half and score 24? What Carter has to do is keep doing what they're doing. They're playing excellent defense. They got to keep gang tackling, keep moving after where the quarterback, where the football is, and defensively, and offensively, just keep showing that versatility, because that's keeping the Judson defense off balance.
Let's take a look at some of the drives in the beginning of drives, and I think this is key as to where they've had to start out. Look at Carter, almost starts at midfield every time they've gotten the ball. That's how it's averaged out of the first half. Judson, on the other hand, has a good 80 yards to go to even get a score.
Yeah, Judson has been having their problems with field position, but that's the way this ball game is going. Carter has been getting the field positions. A lot of that they earned themselves, but a lot of that field position has come off of turnovers, and what they're doing is taking that field position and capitalizing off it. When you have good field position like that, Scott, you can really show some versatility in your offense, and that's what Carter's doing right now.
All right, Coach, does Judson realistically have a chance to come back to win this thing or not?
Well, this is the state finals, 5A finals, and anything can happen. You know, it's going to be a hard road for them to come back. They were behind in one playoff game this year, and they were able to come back, but they didn't have to overcome this type of deficit. And you can see there as they're running out on the field, they're pretty fired up. Let's see if they can take that attitude, that psych, right on the football field and make something happen for themselves.
All right, talk about the play selection. You can see right here, as we alluded to just a couple of minutes ago, Judson, 20 of 23 plays, and 20 of them are run. You've got to pass in the second half if you expect to come back.
Oh, there's no question about that. And I said at the top of the show, Judson is a running team. The stats show that. 20 runs, 3 passes. Carter is a more balanced attack, 17 rushes and 15 passes. And that's what the difference in this ball game is, Carter's versatility, and that's why they're ahead right now, 24-0.
What do you think's going through Freddie James' head right now? What does he say to his fellas in the locker room? They're up 24-0. You've got to be concerned they don't get a little too overconfident.
That's correct. And what they have to do is continue to do what they've been doing, continue to execute, continue to make the big plays. And Coach Freddie James knows that he's close to winning his first state title. And I don't think he's going to let his players get too complacent so that this thing might be able to slip away from them.
Do you have a MVP in this ball game thus far? I know it's only halftime, but
yeah, we're going to pick the MVP at the game. But right now, leading up, the MVP has to be quarterback Robert Hall. He got smacked in the first play of the game, but the kids show some perseverance, some toughness by coming back and making the plays that are necessary to give Carter that 24-zip lead.
He went down for a while. I thought he was history for the game. I really
sure
did.
Yeah, it was a tough situation, but you know this team has had their backs to the wall so many times this year, on the field as well as off the field, and they know how to overcome adversity.
What do you think went on in the Judson locker room?
Well, I think they're probably stunned to be in this situation, first of all, and what the coach D.W. Rutledge had to tell the players is, hey, you know, Carter scored 24 points. Why can't we come back and do it? What he has to do is try to keep his players up, and that's going to be a tough job because of the deficit involved here. But again, this is the state finals, man, and they've worked so hard to get to this point, and now to have it all slip away, they have one more chance in this second half to try to get all that back.
All right, well, let's get down to the sidelines right now. Freddie James bringing his team out on the field. Chris is down there right now with Coach.
I have found Coach James right here. Coach, a near-perfect first half. Not much to complain about.
No, it's not. I just hope that they can play the second half as well as they did the first half.
Are you worried they might get a little overconfident now, be a little bit too relaxed? They look very loose coming out of the locker room just now.
No, I don't think so. I think they'll go out there and give the best job they can do.
Do you go more to the running game, obviously, now to try to take time off the clock instead of the passing game you used so much in the first half?
No, we're going to stay with our game plan. We're going to stick to our game plan and hope we can at least score one more touchdown.
Okay, you've got the good luck sucker here. Everything's on all cylinders for Dallas Carter so far. We'll see if they can keep it up in the second half. When we return, kickoff is the Texas 5A state championship game.
No car? Don't worry. If you got a job, get a car.
Hi, Benny Boyd. Here at Credit Cars, we've got beautiful, clean, late model cars. No wrecks, no junkers. We feature fine automobiles, trucks, and vans from flatbeds to Cadillacs. We know how tough things are, and we realize how important a good car is. So don't worry. If you got a job, get a car at Credit Cars.
Visit our showroom at 422 West Riverside, catty corner from Palmer Auditorium.
Be happy.
In these tough economic times, not everyone can afford that new car. Until times get better, why not put renewed life into that good old car? At Southwestern Motor Rebuilders, we'll put new life into your car, and at a price you can afford. We'll rebuild your engine or replace it with one of our new quality rebuild motors. We rebuild just about any engine and guarantee most for 1 year or 12,000 miles. Southwestern Motor Rebuilders, servicing Austin since 1986 and still running.
The spirit of Texas.
KBVO TV 42, Austin.
The 1988 5A High School State Championship Final is being brought to you by Pepsi, the choice of a new generation. And by the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy truck. And by La Quinta, celebrating 20 years as an overnight success. Welcome back to Texas Stadium. Scott Murray along with Drew Pearson. We're about ready for the second half kickoff. Carter leading Judson by a score of 24-0. Bobby Borfall, the left-footed senior, it's up, and it'll be fielded by Mitchell. He drops it at the 5, picks it up again, goes to the far side, and is finally brought down at about the 15-yard line. Darnell Stevens on the tackle. And Carter, who already leads by a score of 24-0, will take over offensively at their own 15-yard line.
Scott, a lot of times when you drop a kick like that, it'll kind of mess up the coverage, but that time Judson was able to make the play and hold Carter inside their own 20-yard line. There's the average on first downs, average yards on first down. Judson 4.8, Carter 5.4.
Second man through. That's Harper. Tackle made by Robert Reed after a gain of close to 10 yards. It indeed will be enough. First down on the first play from scrimmage in the second half.
Now Judson probably went into the locker room at halftime, made some adjustments to stop the passing game, so Carter comes right out and runs the football, and they have a big hole, a big gap in the Judson Rocket defense, and Harvey Harper, who has been their leading ball carrier this afternoon, takes it for another big game. First and 10, Carter.
From the 26. Harper again. This time a gain of maybe 2. Darnell Stevens on the tackle, the cornerback in to make the stop.
Looks like Carter's going to come out and try to work on his clock a little bit by running the football. And let's see if that will hurt them, because the strength so far of the offense has been their versatility. And the way they've moved the ball effectively is by throwing the football, Scott.
4 wide receivers. Single back. Couldn't tell if that was a 3 or an 8, either Mitchell or Allen. Stop is made by Reed. Single digit, I guess it was Edwards, Gary Edwards.
No, Scott, it's Anthony Allen. I'm sorry I pointed Edwards out to you on the play. But those backs are about the same. They have the same type of speed, 4.5. And that time was Anthony Allen. He has rushed for 169 yards this year.
Single back this time is Jones, and they'll pass out of the backfield is Jones. It's a little behind it.
Give me a good one, Hal.
So that'll bring up a 4th down for Carter. Hey. And they will punt for the first time here in the second half.
Good job by Judson's defense. They gave them a first down, but they held. And now they're getting a chance to get the ball back, and they should be able to get it back, Scott, with some good field position if they don't fumble it, right?
Bad snap from center. He just gets it away. Darnell Stevens on the 1 hop, falls down at about the 34. And we've got a flag on the play as well.
That's going to be for a late hit personal foul against Carter. That'll help Judson's field position.
As Rich talks to his fellas, we'll take a brief timeout right now with Carter leading by a score of 24-0.
That E.T. has come home on video cassette. For the holidays, Pepsi is offering a special $5 rebate with the purchase of an E.T. video and Pepsi.
You've seen Ford do this for years. But now there's a big new Chevy with enough power to not only haul tons of trucks up this mountain, but also tow away the entire mountain. The advanced full-size Chevy. No wonder when it comes to pickups, America's having a change of heart.
The heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevy truck.
Picture me, picture you. Picture all the things we do.
Who can you trust with your holiday memories? H-E-B Photo Place for quality prints. We're on the Kodak Color Watch system, so the colors are bright, the image is just right. Or H-E-B Photo Place will give you your money back. How can you miss?
Picture that, picture this. You just can't miss.
At H-E-B Photo Place.
Mike Jenks will be at quarterback now, as he has continued to switch on throughout the ballgame with Tommy Ramey from the I formation. What a grab, and he drops it. That's Silva, the tight end. They rule it incomplete. I thought he was going to grab that. I thought he'd pulled it in.
He almost made a beautiful catch on it. Number 88, it reminded me of somebody else, number 88, running across that middle of Texas Stadium field.
Bernie Boronsky, right?
Right. We see on the ISO there, it's a play action in the backfield. Jenks starts to run. He spots Silva. Silva almost makes an excellent one-hand catch, but you see there, he never has possession of the ball. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10 from the 49. Jenks again scrambles to his left and throws it up. It's picked off. Maston has the interception. So Carter is back in the driver's seat as we get going in the opening minute of play, opening minutes here in the second half, with yet another interception. Jenks on a roll out of that time. He's rolling to his left, throwing across his body. And there's the old tip drill. Gary Edwards hits it, and Matson's there to make his 7th interception of the season. Everybody's talking about their All-American safety, Derek Evans, but a lot of people, a lot of scouts like Matson, who's also a senior, goes about 185, runs a 4.5 40. First and 10 for Carter from their 27. Good shot at Carter, defensive coordinator, giving some instructions. That's Arvis Bonner, who's the defensive coordinator for Carter, giving some instructions to his defense, trying to keep those guys fired up on the sideline. 9:16 and counting, third quarter of play. Carter with a 24-0 lead, had the ball on their own 30. It's 2nd and 7. 4 wide receivers, and they'll go to Jones. Incomplete. Broken up by Mike Wirt. Scott, I think on that play, Jones, he was open quick on the play. The ball kind of floated up there, and Jones was looking at two things, the ball and number 52, Mike Wirt, both coming at him at the same time. And, of course, Wirt broke that one up for the incompletion. So as a result of the incomplete pass, it is 3rd and 7 now. Ball still on the 30. And again, they will pass. Across the middle, intended for Brian Mitchell, thrown way low. And so for the second time here in the second half, Carter will find itself in punt formation. So far, nice job by the Judson defense to stop Carter on 2 possessions. Now the offense has to get it going so they can get something going for themselves to get back in this football game. Harold Jones will be the punter. And again, Darnell Stevens. Excellent punt. Excellent punt. Fields it at about the 27, across the 30 to the 35, and across the 40-yard line. You're watching the State 5A Championship in the state of Texas. Carter leading Converse Judson by a score of 24-0. We'll be right back.
If you get 4 traffic tickets in 12 months, you could lose your license. Call Miller & Herring, lawyers for traffic tickets.
When you need to stay in touch, you need MobileCom. When you need system reliability and service, you need MobileCom. Whether you're a professional needing to keep in touch with your office or an independent business owner needing to keep in touch with your people in the field, you need MobileCom. With the largest coverage area in Austin extending to San Antonio, you're never out of touch with MobileCom. Nationwide paging now available, reaching you in 51 cities coast to coast with our new Sky Pager. When you need 24-hour service and reliability, you need MobileCom, keeping Austin and the nation in touch.
In today's economy, I want to give Christmas gifts that will be cherished forever. That's why I buy jewelry for family and friends at Russell Corman Company at 38th and Lamar. I know I can count on Russell Corman to have the very best prices on pearls, diamonds, 14-karat gold, and sterling silver jewelry without the sales gimmicks. Russell Corman Company, 38th and Lamar. You can't buy fine jewelry for a better price.
It's Christmas with the Bundys. But where's that jolly fat man?
No!
Somebody's got to take his place, but Al Bundy?
He's the nicest man on the block. Yes, it's a Bundy Christmas.
Married with children. Sunday.
15-yard penalty marched off against Carter. Face mask call after the punt. So as a result, the hurry-up offense. Here's the quick snap. Judson, for the first time, starts a series inside Carter territory, and they'll go for everything. Broken up. Arnell. Clifton Abraham breaking that one up. Stanzioni, of course, the flanker. He's the leading receiver with 30 receptions this year. Number 84 back to the huddle. He was the intended receiver, but broken up nicely by Clifton Abraham, who already this year has 6 interceptions for Carter. And again, they go with that hurry up out of the huddle. Pitch back and again a fumble, and Carter's got the ball. Kyle Arnell, who already earlier today fumbled the football. Couldn't hold on to the pitch back, and Carter is back in the driver's seat. Jesse Armstead.
Arnell's had trouble all year. You see that pitch there. It was pretty high. Hit him in the shoulder pads, but he still has to get his hands up there and use his hands to catch that ball. At the time it bounced off his shoulder pads, and again, the Carter Cowboys are able to jump on the miscue by the Judson Rockets.
Jesse Armstrong, or excuse me, Jesse Armstead, rather. And we're going to take a brief timeout. We'll be right back with more from Texas Stadium.
We're here at the National Space Satellite Dish, where for 3 days in a row, scientists have received messages from deep space. Dr. Gilbert.
At precisely 12 noon, we have received the signal.
And now, as the hour of 12 approaches, we listen for these strange sounds.
It's no mystery where great refreshment comes from. Pepsi, the choice of a new generation.
The versatile Chevy S10 Blazer. The perfect vehicle for people who like to do everything. With a new available 4.3-liter Vortec engine, the Chevy S10 Blazer gives you the most V6 power in its class and the most fun in any class.
Ooh, the heartbeat of America. That's today's Chevrolet.
Performance. It counts on the playing fields, be it the football team or the marching band, and in the classroom. By sponsoring educational competitions ranging from marching band to calculator applications to basketball, the University Interscholastic League has helped Texas public school students develop and refine skills that will serve them a lifetime. Support these outstanding young men and women in your community by attending school activities. These students are our leaders of tomorrow.
Carter with a 1st and 10 on their own 46-yard line. Robert Hall at quarterback. This is Jones. Across the 50, 45, and pushed out of bounds just short of the 40. Derwin Gray on the tackle.
Well, the leading receiver in the first half was David Jones. He comes out in the second half and makes a nice catch there on a lowly thrown ball. And again, he takes it upfield for a big gain as Derwin Gray brings him down.
Pickup of about 14 yards. That brings up 1st and 10 from the 40. Fake initially to Anthony Allen, and then he came out of the backfield and they could not complete the pass. So it'll be 2nd and 10, just short of the 40.
Carter gets the good field position, so they're going to throw the ball. They come out on the first play, pick up a first down, and they try to throw it again, but the pass was just a little long for Anthony Allen. Now we have a 2nd and 10 situation.
D.W. Rutledge, the head coach at Judson since 1984, looks on. His team trails 24-0. 8:25 left, 3rd quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 40. Again, the fake. Hall will keep it across the 35 to about the 33. Brought down by Mike Wirt.
Nice job by Robert Hall. You know, he alternated at quarterback last year, but this year he's taken over the reins, and he has made himself into a major college prospect by his playing ability, showing these college recruiters that he could play on a major college level. You see a nice move there to get free, and again to make some extra yardage to make it a 3rd down with 3 to go, Scott.
3 to go from the 33. First man. That's Harper, and he's got a 1st down. Across the 25 to about the 22-yard line. Derwin Gray, the free safety again on the tackle.
Scott, if this play looks familiar, it should, because the Carter Cowboys scored on this play to get themselves a 21-0 lead. There's some nice straight arm, nice running work by Harvey Harper.